In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. This is a surah of the Quran. We have sent it down as heavenly revelation and ordained the obligations herein, and thus we have sent down herewith verses of clear intent, so that you may become mindful of God's commandments. As to she who fornicates, and he who fornicates, whip each one of them 100 lashes, and let no pity for them overtake you in adhering to God's religion, if truly you believe in God and in the coming judgment of the last day. Moreover, let a group of the believers witness their punishment. A man who fornicates shall not marry anyone but a woman who fornicates or an idolatress. And as for the women who fornicates, none shall marry her but a fornicator or an idolater, and such marriage is forbidden for the believers. As to those who accuse chaste women of illicit sexual intercourse, who then do not produce 4 eyewitnesses to the very act, whip them 80 lashes, and do not accept any testimony from them ever after. For it is these who are the ungodly, except for those of them who repent after this offense and set things aright. For indeed God is all forgiving, mercy giving. As to those who accuse their wives of adultery while having no eyewitnesses but themselves, then the due testimony of each accuser is to bear witness 4 times, swearing by God that he is indeed of the truthful, while the 5th testimony shall be that the curse of God be upon him if he is of the liars. Yet punishment shall be averted from her, if she bears witness 4 times, swearing by God that he is indeed of the liars, while the fifth testimony shall be that the wrath of God be upon her if he is of the truthful. Now, what would become of you, O believers, were it not for the grace of God upon you and his mercy, and were it not that God is indeed all relenting, all wise. Indeed, those who have come to you with the wicked slander against the mother of the believers are a band of hypocrites among you. Do not consider it evil for you, but rather it is good for you. Each one of them shall be charged with the sin he has earned. Moreover, whoever of them took upon himself the greater part of spreading it, for him there shall be a great torment in the hereafter. If only when you first heard it uttered, the believing men and the believing women among you thought good of the believers among themselves, and said, "This is clearly wicked slander." And if only when they who uttered the slander had produced under obligation from you believers 4 witnesses to attest to it. But since they could not produce any witnesses, it is these in the sight of God who are to have been adjudged as the liars in this matter. Yet, were it not for the grace of God upon you and his mercy in this world and in the hereafter, a great torment would most surely have afflicted you for that gossip in which you have indulged when you relayed the wicked slander among one another with your own tongues. Thus, with your own mouths, you uttered that of which you had no sure knowledge. Yet you think it is a light thing, while before God it is enormous. And if only when you heard of it, You said, "It is not lawful for us to speak about this. Highly exalted are you. This is an enormous calumny. God admonishes you never to repeat the likes of this sin if you are truly believers. Thus does God make clear to you the commandments in His revealed verses, and God is all-knowing, all-wise. As for those who love to spread about obscenity among the believers, there shall be for them a most painful torment in this world and in the hereafter. For God knows every hidden intent, and you do not know. Then what would become of you, O believers, were it not for the grace of God upon you and His mercy, and were it not that God is indeed all kind, mercy giving. O you who believe, do not follow the footsteps of Satan, for whoever follows the footsteps of Satan merely joins obscenity and ungodly wrongdoing upon people. Thus, were it not for the grace of God upon you and His mercy, not a single one of you would have ever been purified. But God purifies whomever He so wills. And God is all-hearing, all-knowing. Moreover, let not people of moral excellence and affluence among you swear off giving charitably to close relatives and the indigent and the immigrants in the path of God in reproach for a wrong done, but rather let them pardon and overlook it. Do you not love that God should forgive you? Indeed, God is all forgiving, mercy giving. Yet those who accuse chaste women of indecency, women who have never even considered indecency, and who are believers, such are cursed in this world and in the hereafter. For them there is a great torment awaiting on a day hereafter when their tongues and their hands and their legs shall all bear witness against them for all the evil that they used to do in life. On that day, God shall fully render them their just due. Thus they shall more surely know that it is God alone who is the manifest truth. Depraved women are only for depraved men, and depraved men are only for depraved women. But wholesome women are for wholesome men, and wholesome men are for wholesome women. For as to the wholesome, they are innocent of all that the depraved say of them. For them there is forgiveness from God and a generous provision awaiting in the hereafter. O you who believe, you shall not enter homes other than your own homes until you take welcome permission and greet their people with peace. That is best for you, so that you may become mindful of the benefit of God's commandments. But if you do not find anyone therein, then do not enter them until permission is given to you. Moreover, if it is said to you by their inhabitants, turn back, then turn back and do not resist. That is purer for you, and God is all-knowing of all that you do. It is not an offense for you to enter an unrestricted residence that is not inhabited by specific residents, in which there are accommodations for you. Yet God knows all that you reveal and all that you conceal. Say also to the believing men, O Prophet, that they should lower their gaze from women that are forbidden to them, and safeguard the chastity of their secret parts. That is most pure for them. Indeed, God is all aware of all that they do. And say to the believing women as well that they should lower their gaze from men that are forbidden to them, and safeguard the chastity of their secret parts, and do not exhibit their own physical adornment, except what must necessarily appear thereof. Thus, let them draw their veils upon their bosoms, and not exhibit their own physical adornment to other than their husbands, or their fathers, or their husbands' fathers, or their own sons, or their husbands' sons, or their brothers, or their brothers' sons, or their sisters' sons, or their women folk who are believers, or those bond servants whom their hands rightfully possess, or male attendants without sexual desire, or children who are not yet sexually discerning about the nakedness of women. Nor let them stamp their feet while walking to make visibly known what they conceal of their adornments, but turn altogether to God in repentance, O you believers, so that you may be successful. Moreover, let the unwed among you marry, and also the righteous of your bondmen and bondwomen. If they are poor, God shall enrich them from His bounty, and God is all-encompassing, all-knowing. As to those who do not find means for marriage, let them keep themselves pure and chaste until God enriches them from His bounty. Moreover, it is those whom your hands rightfully possess desire a deed of emancipation, then write it for them if you come to know goodness in them. Moreover, give them of the wealth of God that He has given you, nor shall you compel your handmaidens to whoredom, for they too ardently desire to be chaste, in order for yourselves thereby to seek the fleeting things of the life of this world. But should one so compel them, then the compeller is guilty, while after their having been so compelled, God is all forgiving of such handmaidens, and mercy giving toward them. Thus, very truly, O humankind, we have sent down to you in this Quran verses that clarify God's truth and give examples that elucidate the exemplary ways of those righteous ones who have passed away before you, along with specific admonitions of good conduct for the benefit of the God-fearing. God is the light of the heavens and the earth. The likeness of His light is as is a niche wherein is a lamp, the lamp in a glass, the glass as if it were a brilliant star, kindled from a blessed tree, an olive, neither eastern nor western, whose oil would nearly shine out, even if no fire touches it. Light upon light. God guides to His light whomever He so wills. And God sets forth parables for all people. For God alone is all-knowing of all things. Such light shines within houses of worship that God has decreed to be raised up, and for His name to be ever remembered in them, giving due exaltation to Him therein in the early mornings and late afternoon. There are men whom neither commerce nor selling divert from the remembrance of God, or from the establishment of the prayer, or the giving of the zakah, charity. They fear a day hereafter when hearts and eyes shall roll frantically between salvation and damnation in hope that God may reward them with the very best they have ever done, and that He may increase them from His bounty. For God alone gives provision to whomever He so wills without measure. But here is the parable for those who have disbelieved in God. Their works are like a mirage in a leveled plain. The thirsting man thinks it is water, until when he approaches it, he finds that it is nothing. Instead, in the hereafter, he shall find only God there. Then He will render him his wicked account in full. For God is swift in reckoning. Or they are like ones lost in veils of darkness in a fathomless sea, covered by waves, above which are waves, above which are thick clouds, veils of darkness, one above the other. If one puts his hand out, he can barely see it. For one to whom God does not provide light has no light at all. Do you not see that whoever is in the heavens and the earth exalts God, as do the birds outspreading their wings in flight? Each one of them among God's creation has known its way of prayer and exaltation, and God alone is all-knowing of all the acts that they do. For to God alone belongs the dominion over the heavens and the earth, and to God alone is the ultimate destiny. Have you not seen that God drives the clouds on, then joins them together, then piles them up in heaps. Then you see rainfall issuing from their midst. Moreover, He sends down from the heaven mountainous clouds in which there is hail. Then He strikes with it whomever He so wills, and turns it away from whomever He so wills. The flash of its lightning nearly takes away the sight. God alone alternates the night and the daylight. Indeed, in this there is a sure lesson for those who have eyes to see. Moreover, God created every treading beast from water. Yet of them there are those that go on their bellies, and of them are those that walk on two legs, and of them are those that walk on four. God creates whatever He so wills. Indeed, God is powerful over all things. Thus, very truly, we have sent down verses clarifying God's truth. Yet, God alone guides whomever He so wills to a straight way of salvation. Now, they who are hypocrites say, "We believe in God and the Messenger, and we obey them." Then a group of them turns away after this in defiance. Thus, the likes of these are not true believers. For when they are called to God and His Messenger to judge between them in their disputes without delay, a party of them turn themselves aside to avoid judgment against themselves. But if the truth is decisively in their favor, they come to Him in full submission. Is there sickness in their hearts? Or is it rather that they doubt the word of faith, and therefore fear that God and His Messenger will be unjust to them? Rather, it is these who are the wrongdoers, godless in heart. Indeed, the only word of the true believers when they are called to God and His Messenger to judge between them is to but say, "We hear and we obey." Thus, it is these who are the truly successful. For whoever obeys God and His Messenger and venerates God and fears Him, then such as these are the truly triumphant. Yet they who are hypocrites swore by God with the utmost of their vows that if ever, O Prophet, you were to command them, they would go forth in God's cause. Say to them, do not swear. Your false swearing of obedience is known. Indeed, God is all aware of all the works that you do. Say to them, you shall obey God, and you shall obey the Messenger. Yet, if you turn away, then know that He is answerable only for what He is charged to bear, and you are not answerable for what you are charged to bear. But if you obey Him, you shall be rightly guided. Yet nothing is incumbent upon the messenger except the clear conveyance of God's message. God has promised those of you who believe and do righteous deeds that He will most surely make them sovereign successors in the earth, just as He has made the like of those before them successors therein. Moreover, He will most surely establish for them their religion, which He has chosen for them. Furthermore, He will most surely give them in exchange, after their fear, great security, so long as they worship Me alone, not associating anything as a God with me. Yet whoever disbelieves after this solemn promise, then it is these who are the ungodly. Thus, duly establish the prayer and give the zakah, charity, and obey the messenger, so that you may be granted mercy. Never think that those who disbelieve can elude the mighty hand of God in even the furthest reaches of the earth. Moreover, their final abode shall be the fire of hell, and a most woeful destination it is. O you who believe, let those whom your hands rightfully possess, and those among you who have not reached puberty, seek your permission to attend to you at 3 times of day, before dawn prayer, and whenever you lay aside your garments at noontime, and after the evening prayer. These are 3 intervals of privacy for you. It is not an offense for you, nor for them, in times of day, apart from this, that they go about attending you, or you one another. And thus does God make clear to you the commandments in His revealed verses. For God is all knowing, all wise. Moreover, when the children among you reach puberty, let them seek permission to attend to you, as those before them have sought permission. And thus does God make clear to you the commandments in His revealed signs. For God is all knowing, all wise. As for women beyond childbearing age, who have no desire for marriage, it is not an offense for them if they lay aside their outer garments without unduly exhibiting any of their adornment. Yet, if they abstain from this out of modesty, it is best for them. And God is all hearing, all knowing. There is no offense for the blind, nor is it an offense for the lame, nor is it an offense for the sick, as to the commandments wherein they are unable. Nor is there any offense for yourselves, O believers, if you freely eat from your own homes, or the homes of your fathers, or the homes of your mothers, or the homes of your brothers, or the homes of your sisters, or the homes of your paternal uncles, or the homes of your paternal aunts, or the homes of your maternal uncles, or the homes of your maternal aunts, or the homes to which you properly hold the keys, or the homes of your friends. Nor is it an offense for you to eat together or apart. Yet, when you enter such homes, greet each other with peace, a greeting from the very providence of God, blessed and wholesome. Thus does God make the commandments of His revealed verses clear to you, so that you may understand and observe them. Furthermore, the true and constant believers are those who believe in God and His messenger, and who, whenever they are together with the Prophet, addressing a matter of common concern, do not part until they have taken His permission, O Prophet. As to those who take your permission before parting with you, these are the ones who truly believe in God and His messenger. So, when they ask your permission to attend to some of their own affairs, give permission to whomever of them you will. Moreover, seek God's forgiveness for them. Indeed, God is all forgiving, mercy giving. You, believers, shall not, however, render the manner of calling upon the messenger among yourselves, like your own calling upon one another. Truly, God knows those hypocrites among you who sheltered by one another stealthily slip away from the assembly of the Prophet without his permission. Then let those who go against his command or that of his messenger beware, for a trial may well afflict them in this world, or a most painful torment may afflict them in the hereafter. Most assuredly, to God alone belongs all that is in the heavens and the earth. Truly, He knows every condition you are in. Thus, on the day they all return to Him for judgment, He shall tell them then the due recompense of all that they have done in life. For God alone is all knowing of all things.